This is a millennial joint yoga and meditation session, here to help you work off all of that post-election stress. Let's begin, shall we? Our first position is called fetal fecal. On your mat, please lie on whichever side you prefer, the left or the right. Draw your knees up into your chest, high as you can, and wrap your arms firmly around them. Now, deep breath. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and release. Shit. Deep breath. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and release. Shit. Very good. Now, as you're aware, sex is a great tension reliever, and the proper poses learned here will enhance sex for you now and for the extensive fucking we're all about to receive over the next 4 years. When you're ready, assume the downward tweeting Donald position and breathe in. 2, 3, and out. Rigged. Breathe in. 2, 3, and out. Miss Piggy. Breathe in. 2, 3, and out. Huge. No, the proper technique involves replacing the H sound with the Y. Huge. Perfect. Now rise for the son of a bitch salutation, extending your middle fingers high into the air, and breathe in. 2, 3, and out. No tax returns. Very good. And now for the high wall lunge. In 2, 3, out. Fucking racist. Very good. Our next class will focus on those problem areas with a few more disciplined poses. You should be prepared for Pray the Gay Away, Electoral Pectorals, Blowing Putin, and of course, the Pussy Grab. Take a deep, cleansing breath. Good. Now, if you have the courage, open your eyes. It's time for the show. Namaste, bitches.
Live to tape.
Season 2, Episode 43. I'm Andrew.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Matt.
First of all, thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan, for that meditation.
That was a Dan T led meditation session. We hope that you enjoyed.
It's like
I love
audible
Dan.
chocolate.
Big fan of Dan. Anyway, in light of last week, the disaster that was last week, and the disaster was our episode about last week, we have decided that today's episode will be completely you-know-what free. I'm not even saying the word.
Yep.
You know who, involved. You know which. Not saying it.
We figured,
Fantastic piece.
You know,
I was gonna say.
we felt like we deserved a break. We felt like you guys definitely deserved a break
Absolutely.
for bearing with us for the last 2 fucking years of this shit. So, yeah, we're gonna have some discussions about weird Western habits and Beauty and the Beast and all kinds of crap. So, buckle up.
Beauty and the Beast, the Disney live-action movie, not our president-elect and First Lady-elect.
Oh, God.
Anyway, but Laura, you got really drunk last night, didn't you?
I did. Yeah,
Shocking.
so there's this, yeah, I know. There's this really great music venue called The Masquerade in downtown Atlanta. And it's kind of like a staple for the local punk scene. And it's been around for a long time. And they're closing it. And shut up. And they're closing it down. It's being like renovated and turned into some fucking hipster restaurant / shopping mall bullshit.
Frickin' Applebee's.
Yeah, and last night was one of the last shows, so I went and I drank my feelings.
That's a
Yeah,
lot.
it was a lot of feelings, guys.
It was
About
funny because
the you know what and the Masquerade closing. So
and Beauty and the Beast, not the Disney live action. It was funny because like I was working on the show last night. And I'm like, all right, guys, so I got this, and this plan, and Laura's just like, I'm drunk. Like, okay, good combo.
That's it. Yeah, that's all we got from her.
Thank you, Laura.
Guys, I'm drunk.
Very helpful. Laura, what do you think about this? I don't care. I'm drunk.
yeah, I started the planning doc and everything, and yesterday I was like super prepared to be on top of this shit, and then it didn't happen.
Oh, what are you talking about? You were prepared.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I put some stuff in here, but
well, don't worry.
Not enough.
I'm the mop. I always clean stuff up, get it all together.
Why we keep you around?
Anyway, so there was some, entertainment's always a good escape from the bad things happening in your world, and I think the entertainment world has really rallied, actually, over Monday's release of the Beauty and the Beast trailer. We got some pictures a couple weeks ago and a poster, but this was really our first look at the characters in action. Matt, what do you think of it?
Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but I've actually already seen the animated feature, so I kind of already knew what the movie was about.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that this movie does. I don't know. I'm not going to bullshit it. It looks okay. I think the best part of the trailer was the music. I don't know what that says about the movie, but I've been really impressed with how Disney has been doing their live action movie trailers, like the choice of music, because it actually exudes like excitement and epicness. But it looks okay. I mean,
I've just loved the live action movies. I think they've done a really good job in general. Actually, this trailer, the one thing I didn't like about it is the music, because you don't actually hear any of the songs. I would have loved to have heard at least a piece of one of the songs. I thought that would surely be coming in this trailer, but it didn't. I
think because this is the first actual trailer that we get, and if there were singing in it, I think it would take away from like getting people pumped up for it. And I think also the songs are what people are really excited to see. So they kind of want to hold off. Yeah, they want to hold off on that.
I thought the Beast looked better than I thought he would.
Okay, can we talk about this? Because when the pictures were released the other day, a bunch of little like Tumblrinas went crazy, and they were like, "The Beast is so ugly," and I was like, "Yeah, he's a beast."
Right.
Did you see the cartoon? I mean, he looks pretty similar.
Okay, it wasn't a cartoon. It was an animated feature.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I say this as somebody, Beauty and the Beast was my favorite Disney movie as a kid. So actually, I'm kind of excited for this. I think it looks like it's beautifully shot.
I'm kind of curious about these girls on Tumblr who were talking about like, oh, the Beast is so ugly. Like, Beauty and the Beast is my favorite of the Disney animated films too, but like I didn't get wet every time I saw the Beast.
Right. I don't think you're supposed to. I mean,
maybe because they think, oh, it's Dan Stevens, so we should see more of Dan Stevens or something like that. But
whatever.
This will probably be Disney's most profitable live action to date. And now they're working on The Lion King, they're working on Aladdin, they're working on basically every movie at this point, but they're finally diving into the big hits. So
I'm actually surprised that they are releasing this in March. Like, this to me seems like a Christmas or like Thanksgiving film.
Yeah, it does. I don't know why they did that either, but I think because some of their other ones came out in the spring as well. It'll be fine. It doesn't matter when you release a movie anymore, so long as it's good. Anyway, so we were all together last week. We did want to talk a little bit about DC, minus the election part. But there is one part we should mention, and that's the party we had with listeners. It was so great.
Oh, everyone was amazing.
Yeah, who came out. We took some group pictures. I know we posted one of them in the Facebook group. And as I said there, it made the night a lot better. So thanks to everybody who came out. It was really cool meeting everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everybody is super cool.
I know. And like the really cool thing was there were several of you there who I had previously interacted with in the Facebook group and other places. And it was really cool to meet people.
Yeah.
In real life. It was nice to like have like actual faces.
Yeah.
Instead of Facebook profile pictures. So it was really cool to meet everybody. Everyone was super nice and gracious and comforting. So thank you.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I always get so impressed with like how not really intelligent, but I mean, yes, but I don't want to say like, I don't want it to be
really
like condescending, but I get so impressed on how like eloquent all of our listeners are. And it's just really, it's really humbling to know that we have people who have been listening to us for so long turn into such amazing people.
Yeah, we raised them well. And actually, I met some millennial listeners in New York when I was there a day or two ago for
really?
Fantastic Beasts went on. Yeah, and one guy in particular has been listening since the imprint days. So that's how he started up, I think he said, and it was really cool meeting him and a few others. So yeah, thank you to everybody. You know, I was impressed. I was happy with the party night because Elisa and I actually had a bet going about how many listener dicks Laura would suck. And I won the bet. I bet 2, she bet 4. And it was 2.
Yeah.
So yeah. I was very happy with that.
I did okay. I was pretty conservative that night.
Yeah.
Anyway, other than that, we also did this zip lining experience. It was like a zip lining / tree climbing experience.
Yeah, it was
in
like
the
an
woods.
adventure park, what it was called.
Right, it was called Silver Spring Adventure Park, I think.
Yeah.
And, you know, Laura and I were very hesitant at the beginning.
That's putting it lightly.
Because I think that's fair, because neither of us had done it before, and it was a little nerve-wracking, right, Laura? Why was it bothering you?
Okay, so I had been ziplining before. The ziplining part didn't bother me. This was like a combined obstacle course slash ziplining course. So like you had a fucking tightrope walk across shit like 30 feet in the air. And there were all kinds of like wooden panels and stuff in your way that you had to duck under. There was a giant ziplining swing that was a standing swing that you literally just like stood on a plank of wood and just like zoomed across this thing 30 feet in the air.
That was the most terrifying one because
it was.
Because at the end of it was a tree and there was no clear way of how to stop yourself. So like I went first and I was screaming the whole way, and then I think Elisa went next, and she went faster than I did, and I was watching her because I was standing right next to the tree. Remember, I'm up in this tree with her. And then Laura comes in the fastest. I was so worried about both of you smacking into the tree like a fly and being squatted.
So I did smack into the tree, and I hit it with such force that I bounced backwards and started going back, like down the line. And I yell at Elise, I'm like, grab me! And so she like grabs me and holds on to me, and then she proceeds to let go, and I'm like, no, bitch, don't let go of me.
It was great. It was so funny. No, I have to say though, my favorite part of this of the whole trip was you two while we were walking up to the park, because we didn't really know what we were we knew there were quote unquote trails and we were going to be on trees, but like that was as vague as Elisa told us it was. She was the one who planned all of it. And once we got there, we just walked into kind of like next to this prairie, just this meadow, and then to the left were all these trees. We walked through the trees, and then all of a sudden we were like on the moon of Endor from Star Wars, where there were like tree houses and apparatuses, and everything was just strings and ropes everywhere. And then Andrew's reactions was kind of what you hear on the show, where he just like bursts out laughing, but like a nervous laugh
and screaming. Definitely screaming.
What are we doing? And Laura is literally saying, oh, fuck this, dude. Fuck no, guys, I'm serious. I don't know if I can do this. I am not happy right now.
That was me coming up on every single element, though. I would like look at the next one and be like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had to get like it took us like 45 minutes to get ready because we had to put on these jumpsuits and all these hooks and shit. We had to learn how to use it so we didn't die.
That's the other thing. We weren't escorted by an expert who knew how to operate this shit. They were just like, here's how you hook onto this stuff. Don't forget to do it or you'll die.
I don't even think the instructor was old enough to drive. He was telling us how to like survive in the trees.
Well, he didn't do that bad, did he? Because we all did survive.
No, we did live. We made it. It was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I felt a lot better once we did do that training, and then we were on this practice course thing, which wasn't high up; it was just on the ground. I think Laura struggled a bit with that because she went last on the training course.
I fucked up on the training course.
Yeah, I will happily do something like that again. I've actually started looking for them in California because they're so fun, and it's a great way to get outside and get some exercise and explore. So it was really cool.
Fuck with your friends too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say I was horrified, and I I'm talking shit on it right now, but it actually was a lot of fun. I would do it again.
At the end of the night, I did a trust fall with Elisa. I trusted her.
Oh yeah, we have that video.
Yeah, we have a bunch of video we need to put up, probably on Patreon. It was scary because I actually didn't trust her. I thought she was going to drop me. She tried She tried to get Matt to do it first, and he absolutely refused. So I said, "All right, fine, I'll do it." And she didn't break the trust. So it was a good group bonding experience overall that whole day.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest, Andrew. Like, Elisa was not going to let you fall. But
That's
for
true.
me,
you guys need me to release the episodes.
Yeah, like we need you.
Yeah, we can't break you.
Anyway, we were going to attempt to do it in an escape room, and we didn't. I'm honestly glad we didn't, because that would just give me anxiety, I think, being trapped in a room.
Yeah, I think we can count the whole trip as our escape room. We managed to all leave the capital without martial law being declared.
Yeah.
So we did it.
Yay! Freedom! Yeah, I was kind of sad that we didn't get to do an escape room, because it just seemed like something that would really bring out the truth out of all of us, what kind of people we really are.
I think the ziplining course also brought out the truth in all of us.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It brought out possibly the uglier side of me, I will say. It was fun.
I didn't think I would abandon you guys so early, so I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, we knew.
Yeah.
And then,
He was, after the first course, he's like, you guys aren't moving fast enough for me, bye.
Well, okay, yeah, and so Matt did a harder course, and, like, we would have thought, like, he was really good at it, but then him and I did a course by ourselves, and I went first on every leg of it, and then he would do it, and do, like, all these weird moves and stuff, and then do it worse than I did. And I'm like, why don't you just repeat what I did?
Because
he, like, almost, I actually, on the one that him and I did together, I actually almost fell off at one point. I lost my balance on one of them, and it almost got really bad.
Yeah, I think that was my problem. Was I underestimated, because it was the level lower than the route that I took before by myself. So I was like, this is gonna be easy. So I just like nonchalantly just strutted around, and then I almost fell off my ass like twice. I'm like on a tightrope, and I'm just going back and forth really fast, losing my shit, and then Andrew's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But you know what? Through all of it, I never felt like I was in danger or anything because of the system, the harness system.
Yeah.
With the, what are they called?
The tweezels.
The tweezels. You're always locked in. Always, always. So you always feel safe. And yeah, so that's why I was cool with it throughout.
You guys had a little interaction with some kids, though, on one of your routes.
Fuck those kids.
Laura cursed some kids out.
They were being dicks.
They were being dicks.
They were 7.
They were behind us.
Okay,
they had caught up to us on the course. And
so they were cheating.
Right. They were cheating by ziplining everything instead of, like, doing it how you're supposed to. And why did you curse them out? What was the breaking point for you, Laura?
So, no, they were behind me the entire time. And on the swing thing, like the stand-up zipline swing, this kid is behind me. He goes, what if you fall? And I was like, well, I guess I'll be on the news. And he was like, yeah, but like, you'll probably go splat. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like who raised you?
Yeah.
And so they would keep so the rules on these things was only like one person was supposed to be on an element at a time. And
An element meaning like an obstacle.
An obstacle, yeah. And so like I would be halfway across something and they would just start coming behind me and like shaking the rope and shit and being little dickheads. And they were like,
it takes a while too to unhook yourself from
like
each
it
thing
takes
to
a
get on the
minute.
other. But the kids were like pushing you too. Like they were saying, "Are you ready yet? Are you done?
Are you done?" And I was finally, "You're gonna have to fucking wait, sweetie." Like, just
No, I mean, you screamed at him though. That was
yeah,
great. You're gonna have to fucking wait, sweetie.
Well, it was, I don't make a practice of doing that, of course. It was at the end and it was a really long zip line that was like a downward angle. And they didn't wait until I was off of it to start like ziplining down, and they were crashing into me. And like, it was actually what they were doing was dangerous. And so that's why I freaked out.
Yeah. Laura, did you just move next to a waterfall?
Did you just go to the bathroom?
No, I'm in Costa Rica right now.
No,
By
you're
a
not.
waterfall.
Oh, that explains it. But there was also one point with these kids behind us where Elisa went first down a zip line, and she goes first before me, and I'm standing there with the kids are behind me waiting to go, and so she turns around and yells back, "That was fun!" And I'm like, "You're fun!" And the kid behind me looks up to me and goes, "That doesn't make any sense." I'm like, "Well, kid, one day you'll learn. For now, I'll
That
give you a
you were an asshole
live
as a
demonstration about how a woman can be fun." And then I had intercourse with Elisa on top of a tree while the children and their mother watched.
I was done before you guys, so I was standing underneath you the entire time, just laughing my ass off,
Yeah,
getting
so I'm
bullied by
like-
these kids.
I'm like doing the tightrope, and Matt's like standing beneath me, like appraising me as I go across this tightrope. I'm like, "Fuck you, Matt."
Yeah. Despite how fun and safe it was, Elisa unfortunately did fall from a tree, and she will never be back on the show because she has died.
Yep.
Just kidding. She's actually going to be off the show for the next few weeks because she is doing some traveling with her family. In the meantime, we will have on substitutes, not this week, but in the weeks ahead. Just wanted to let you know that now. She'll be back on sometime in December. So,
Yay.
one other thing I think we wanted to talk about before getting our discussion was Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. So, like I said, I was in New York, and after meeting MuggleCast and Millennial listeners, I went to this charity event J.K. Rowling held at Carnegie Hall with Eddie Redmayne to benefit the Lumos Foundation. And to hear J.K. Rowling speak about Lumos in her own words was really interesting, and Eddie had interviewed her. Lumos benefits children who are put into orphanages. Orphanages, as J.K. Rowling says, are not good places because they can be run for profit. They are putting children in many cases like in jail cell type situations. She believes that these children need to be connected with families, not placed in orphanages. So that's what Lumos does. They put kids in better homes. It seems like they're doing really great work, and of course, as you can gather by the name, this was founded by J.K. Rowling, the Lumos organization. There are others like it, but she said if you go away with any message tonight, it's that you please do not donate to orphanages, even if despite you have all the care in the world, you want to help. So you may think you should donate to orphanages, but don't put the money there. Put them in community-based organizations that help families take in children. So
That's really sweet.
Yeah, so after that we got to see Fantastic Beasts, and it was actually pretty good. I need to see it again because Carnegie Hall is not a movie theater. It's a music venue. So they had to bring in a projector to project it, and I was sitting up high, so I wasn't watching it at the best angle, and the sound wasn't that great. So I'm really eager to see it again to appreciate all the special effects and whatnot better. And I even at some point just kind of had a hard time hearing it. But it was a good movie. The fact that J.K. Rowling wrote this, for her first screenwriting outing. I thought it was really, really good. It sets up a lot of interesting things for Harry Potter fans. There's a lot to talk about. After seeing it, there is a big twist at the beginning. But yeah, it's fun. It's, you know what? So there's 4 core characters. They're the new trio, if you will. And I was on the edge of tears at the end over the Muggle in the quartet. And that surprised me. He just has a really great ending. So he dies? No, I didn't say that. The ending. You
said he has a good ending.
Ending in this movie. Movie.
I got a question. So, I'm just going to go ahead and say, as someone who is very experienced with the Harry Potter Wizarding World universe and has been actively in the fandom, read the books before you saw the movies, what was it like? What was it like watching the movie, not knowing the story?
Yeah, well, that's definitely one of the most exciting parts of it. And there's a big twist that happens at the end that's one of those things that the Harry Potter fans will be experiencing for their first time sitting in the theater and watching it. So yeah, it was exciting to see where it's going. And I mean, there's a lot of questions left unanswered. And you can see why this is going to be 5 movies. There are numerous characters introduced who present very interesting storylines. Even there's one in particular that she appears for a split second, but it's going to be big things in the future because Harry Potter fans will recognize the name. So, yeah.
So is the twist that Johnny Depp, aka Grindelwald, has a violence issue?
Well, we know Grindelwald has a bit of a violence issue, so I wouldn't say that is the twist. No.
Okay.
Based off of what I've seen in the trailer and some of the TV spots, it seems like there is an abundance of CGI.
Yeah,
in place
there is.
Of like characters like that, like the gangster goblin who is fully CGI. I was a little nervous about that because in the past, at least in the Harry Potter movies, we've seen that the characters are played by like actors with prosthetic faces or animatronic animals.
Right.
And such, but
this is actually why I need to see it again, because I wasn't looking at it on the best screen from the best angle. But yeah, the special effects I think looked really good. There's so many different beasts in this movie. I thought there should have been more cuter ones. Like there were some cute ones, but they needed more of those. There were some really ugly ones. The goblins I thought looked perfectly fine. It was cool seeing a couple of house elves as well. Nice little throwback to Harry Potter. But yeah, it is, and I want to look at the New York sets because I wasn't sure how CGI they are versus real. Okay. Somebody told me after that they a lot of them were real, but they shot them in Leavesden. They didn't shoot really any of this in New York. So I do recommend it. The reviews are actually really good right now. It's cruising very high on Rotten Tomatoes.
Nice.
I've been reading though about this actually, and someone was telling me about it too the other day. Is that there's been like kind of a trend with these film studios where they're like inviting certain news outlets that they know will give them a positive review before that becomes released. So they have a very high like rating on Rotten Tomatoes before the movie comes out, just to get people more excited seeing how high of a rating it is
here. I mean, Warner Brothers has had several flops this year, including Batman vs. Superman and Suicide Squad. So, so on Rotten Tomatoes right now, Fantastic Beasts is cruising at 100, but I think once more reviews show up on here, it will inevitably go down. It's definitely not a 100%, oh my god, perfect movie. And I did have some problems with it. I thought they spent a little too much time on the Beast search because there's so much else going on. And they also spent too much time on the Niffler in particular. It's like, Niffler? Okay, we get it. He's cute. Yeah, he's like this cute little creature who escapes from Newt's case, and like he's obsessed with collecting gold and stuff. He is adorable, but like after a few minutes you're like, okay, I get it. We don't need to keep coming back to the Niffler and how he is cute and likes money. So
there was a shot, or there's a clip I know that has I think it's the guy who's the Muggle saying like, I want to be a wizard.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that was cut. Please tell me it was cut.
It was
Thank
cut.
God.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, well, why didn't they learn from I Love Magic?
it came at
From
the
Goblet of
expense.
Fire.
No, oh come on, you sound like everybody else on Twitter. They apparently that scene comes after Queenie and Tina sing the Ilvermorny school song, and they cut that too. So I'm hoping that's in the script book, which also comes out this Friday. And if not there, then obviously on the Blu-ray early next year, whenever it comes out. So that's Fantastic Beasts. Can't wait to hear what you two think about it and what our listeners think about it. I think you guys will like it. I really do. Yep.
Okay.
Laura, what's our main discussion this week?
Yeah, so we decided instead of talking about certain other things that are depressing and awful, we would talk about kind of like weird cultural habits that we all have, particularly here in the West, because that's our experience. And like, why the fuck do we do this stuff? And why does it seem so normal to us? And kind of how it looks to outsiders. So the first thing that I thought of is our hygienic practices of wiping our asses. Like, why in the West do we wipe our asses with dry fucking paper and then call that clean?
You're saying
Because
elsewhere they use what?
They use
Bidets.
hoses.
Yeah,
They use
like fountains.
they have like they're not like, in a lot of parts of the world they're not like full on bidets, but a lot of places have like butt hoses attached to the toilet. You fucking hose that shit off. Also, I know a lot of people when they're in situations where they don't have those, they actually have like makeshift ones. Like they'll I had a friend who used to carry like a bottle of soapy water with him, and he would like use that to wash his butt. And I'm like, that actually makes a lot more sense. The way we do it is really dirty.
Yeah. I did have coworkers who during their bathroom breaks would take like a warm cup of water into the bathroom, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? And
Well,
I mean,
you can also use wet wipes.
well, yes, but wet wipes is disposable too. Like the reason why this is not only more like hygienic, but it's more economical. Like you have less waste.
It's more environmentally friendly.
And it's true. But I actually tried a bidet for the first time like a couple weeks ago, and it was fucking great. I didn't even have to, use it for its intended purpose. I just sat down and just let it go to town. It was kind of an advanced one though, because like there was mood lighting in the toilet bowl, which I found
so
weird.
it was like a Japanese toilet.
Yeah, and it had
That's
like
cool.
warm water that came shooting out. So I just sat there and I'm like, oh, I could do this for hours.
So I actually stayed at a Japanese hotel over the weekend in New York called the Kitano, and they had a bidet toilet, but I was too afraid to use it.
Why? Why
I was
were you
terrified
too
of that.
afraid?
I was terrified of the feeling. Like, it was one of these advanced ones, sort of like Matt was describing. Like, as soon as you sit down, the toilet comes to life. It's just like, I don't know what it's doing exactly. It's like starts blowing air or something. And the toilet's on an angle, and like there's different settings for the jets. Like you can make it a soft or hard
it's to
bidet.
help. The air's there to help dry after you use it. Like
I guess,
once you
but I
turn
didn't even
off,
turn
and
it
then
on. It's just like as soon as you sit down on it, it's just like, and I'm like, what is this doing right now? Is it getting ready to bidet me?
Is something coming?
It's cleaning your butt.
It's
Well,
cooking.
I refused because I was afraid of cold water hitting my butt, so I used toilet paper instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, somebody made the point to me. They were like, okay, if like a bird shit on your hand, would you take dry paper and wipe that off and call it clean?
Okay,
No.
Fair.
So why do we do it to our butts?
Well, because it's more crucial that your hand get cleansed properly than your butthole. You're not shaking buttholes with people.
Yeah, but you're gonna. I mean, I hope that you wash your hands anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I get why like we use paper to like get like massive debris off, but
Ugh.
it's
Can we move on?
no, this is what this is happening. But like Laura said, just leaving that much bacteria on and not thinking about it, like our bodies are very resilient. Like we haven't died from that. I mean, in the past we have, but evolution. But I
I don't
think
think
that
people died from having a dirty butthole or anything.
like I'm talking about like early like Neanderthal caveman days. But that was when we were
The
eating.
cavemen did write that they died of dirty buttholes. Sometimes I want to die of a dirty butthole. I'm like, my butthole's so dirty. I don't know what. Guys, I'm in my parents' house. I can't be talking about this right now.
Well, then stop. Like, no one's forcing you to talk about dying from a dirty butthole.
All right, I'll sit back.
I'm actually considering buying a hose extension for my toilet because I want to get on the clean butthole bandwagon.
And what would you hook that up to?
It actually hooks into the existing plumbing. So it pulls the clean water from like the top of your toilet, not from the bowl itself.
Just like an Amazon easy bidet maker thing?
Yeah, it's true. I was looking at them too.
Yep, you just hook that shit up, clean butthole.
Yay.
I can't picture this working.
Well, I will. I'll
do a
I'll
video.
record an instructional video for you, Andrew.
Great, thank you.
I can't wait to see this.
Moving on. Something else that I have noticed with friends of other cultures. Do you guys wear shoes in the house?
I do. Oh, I mean, I do wear shoes. I do wear. I do have house shoes, like slip-ons and stuff. But I also my entire floor it's bamboo hardwood. So, I mean, I have hardwood floors. So, I don't like walking around in my bare feet.
Yeah.
But I also slip if I'm walking with my socks.
But like to clarify, when you walk in the house, is like, do you like walk in with your shoes on, like go to the couch, sit down, or do you like first thing take your shoes off?
No, I don't do that. No.
Yeah, neither do I. I walk around my house with my shoes on all the time. And I have a couple of friends of just, different backgrounds, like their parents are from other parts of the world. And I've noticed anytime I walk into their house, they look at me really weird. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's the shoes.
Well, I think if you have carpeted floors, then absolutely. I have friends who do that, and I know to take off my shoes when I go into their house because they have carpets. But it's not a very uncommon thing, at least in America, to wear your shoes around the house.
I'm one of those people who refuses to wear shoes in my house because I think you're tracking in a bunch of shit. Not the type
you are. No,
that you're bedang.
That's true.
And
so we need a hose. That's what we need. We just need to hose off the floors.
And usually it's a good courtesy to ask when you come over, when you visit somebody's place, oh, should I take my shoes off? And some people do. But some people don't. But I'm not going to be that dick who says, take your shoes off. Unless they ask me, or you just do it,
Yeah. I've had a couple of friends ask me to be like, oh, by the way, you can take your you can take your shoes off. It's
right,
like
which is passive aggressive. Fucking take your shoes off.
No, it's not passive aggressive. I don't mind. It's just it's just not something that I was raised with. And then I lived in Costa Rica for a while where they don't take their shoes off in the house because the floors are all tile. And I remember I would get in the habit of walking around barefoot sometimes because I just don't give a shit. And my host mom would be like, no, Laura, the floor is so dirty. Put your shoes on. What are you doing? Mixed messages.
Yeah. And also, if you're walking around barefoot on tile or hardwood floors, your feet get freezing.
Mm-hmm.
And they get dry.
Yeah, but it was hot down there. I didn't care.
All right. I'm fine. Fuck me, right?
Matt, tell me about cheese.
All right, this one is one that I have inputted. So, cheese. We put cheese on fucking everything. I think it's more of an American thing, but I think that's also what kind of this discussion is that more U.S. North American cultures, we put cheese on everything. We're obsessed with cheese. And I have a couple friends, one from England and one from Korea. Yeah, from Korea. Who my Korean friend was telling me that the first month that he lived here, he was so gassy because his body wasn't used to eating this much cheese. And like he didn't even really know that he was eating so much cheese because it's just frankly on everything.
Mm-hmm. No, you can literally get cheese on your cheese. Like,
Yeah, extra like Domino's asks you already without even you putting anything, asking, "Do you want extra cheese? Cheese it up."
Yeah, I mean, I love cheese.
Yeah.
But like when you're at the point where you're at like Chili's and you're ordering like cheesy potato soup and it comes out with an extra handful of like grated like American on top of it, it's pretty excessive.
Yeah, like we put Parmesan cheese on our cheese pizza.
Yeah. I've had friends visit from abroad who've been like literally gotten sick, like had stomach aches and stuff just from the amount of cheese they've consumed.
Well, it's sort of like how much sugar we put in everything here in America too.
Yeah.
In theme parks in particular. I know when Europeans come over and go to like the Wizarding World and they try the butterbeer, they always say it's way too sugary.
I mean,
actually,
it is.
I agree.
Like
I think it's too sweet.
That is way too sugary. I can't even. Well, okay. I mean, I'm like great. Speaking of sugar, though,
stuffed crust. That's a good cheese on cheese example.
Oh, but stuffed crust is so good.
Exactly.
Or mozzarella cheese sticks. So good. Yeah. I mean, I it's gonna be a hard day when like my doctor tells me I have to cut cheese from my diet because that's gonna be the last day of my life. I don't think my body is just gonna go into shock. I want cheese. But yeah, I mean, and moving on to the next topic that I wanted to discuss is related to sugar, and it's in its content in bread. I don't know if any of you had like European or bread from other countries, but we put so much sugar in our bread. Like it is disgusting. Like I think it's like a cup of sugar per loaf, or it's close to that. I made like Amish style bread that didn't have more than maybe a tablespoon of sugar, if that. And it tasted so dry. It was plain. I couldn't stand it because it just did not taste like the bread that I'm used to. But then when people come in from other countries and they say they can't even stomach our bread because it's just loaded with sugar and it's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't realize we did that either. I feel like in the States in particular, we just like cram as much sugar into our food as we can. It's kind of disturbing too, because studies have come out and shown that sugar is addictive in the same way that cocaine is.
It is.
Like your brain, the same portion of your brain lights up when you eat sugar as it does when you like snort a line.
Right.
I saw like a blog video of these two brothers. One of them did not eat any sugar, and like I think it was like for 30 days, and they showed like the stages that he went through, and like the first 2 weeks he was just so irritable, and he was so tired, and he like was like sick for a good portion of it, and then all of a sudden like his body started to acclimate to no sugar, and he became like more healthy. He had more energy through the day, and he was more elated. Apparently his sex drive was a lot higher, and I just realized that I can't do that. I can't not eat sugar.
Yeah.
That's what addiction looks like, Matt.
Well, and salt and fat, all these things work together to enhance the quality and make you addicted to it.
Yeah. Oh, I love salt.
Yeah, salt is great.
Well, let's talk about how wasteful we are.
Okay.
Let's just keep shitting on ourselves.
Right. I mean, might as well. Like we're on it. So going off of what we talked about earlier with us using toilet paper, we use so many disposable items for really no real reason except for the fact that it's convenient, such as like paper towels, paper or plastic cups, paper plates, plastic utensils, Kleenex nose tissue, just all that kind of shit. Like we really don't need it. And the fact that, our environment is endangered because of it, we're still using a hell of a lot and we're not really doing anything.
There's still
to
some
save it.
purposes though. Like if you go picnicking maybe, or you're eating outside, and maybe you have to travel a little bit to a park or something. They still come in handy. Paper towels, I really love. I think a game changer has been, I don't know the companies exactly, but they do these smaller paper towel sections. Like they cut them into smaller pieces. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like a sheet of a paper towel that you rip off the paper towel roll. Now it's like half the size. It's like you can get them at Target and stuff. It's so much less wasteful because you're using less of a paper towel per wipe of the kitchen counter or anything. And I love those because I do feel like I'm wasting less.
I agree though. I mean, I think there are reasons why we have like these kind of products, but I do think that we use them in excess. For like in replacement of, instead of a paper towel, we can just use a rag or a sponge to clean up something. Or instead of using a box of Kleenex, we can just have a handkerchief with us.
But that's so disgusting.
It's not though. Like you wash it every day. And like you have more than one. Yeah. Or just like you have clothes, like you just throw them in the laundry. Like you have multiple ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was living abroad, nobody used paper towels. It was all like dishcloths and rags and stuff.
Right. Like I started doing that because, well, first of all, it racks up a lot of cash. Like keep on buying, like toilet paper is one thing, but having to buy like $20 to $30 a week worth of paper towels.
That's a lot of paper towels, man.
Okay, I was exaggerating, but like, you know what I mean? Like the money does rack up, and then you really don't need to. It's really unnecessary, honestly. Like you don't need to use paper towels for a lot of the things that we use them for.
Yeah, so this just settles it for me. When I move into my new place in a couple months, I'm getting a bidet, and I'm going to stop using paper towels.
I don't believe you.
2017 is going to be the year of sustainability for Laura.
That'll be my New Year's resolution of reducing one's carbon footprint. So with that in mind, yes, I could try to do that, but I also just love ripping a little sheet of paper towel off the holder and wiping shit down and throwing it out. Bing da boom da bing.
You are part of.
Yeah. See, I'm really bad about it though, because I don't just take one. Like I roll that shit. Like
what? You're disgusting.
Like, what? How am I disgusting?
You take a bunch? Why do you take a bunch?
I don't know. It's a really bad habit, and I need to stop.
Yeah, Andrew, you thought it was disgusting when we were telling you about the folding method when wiping our ass with paper, with toilet paper.
Folding.
Like you're like, wait, the folding method. Like you take one, you wipe once, you fold it over, and then you wipe again, and then you keep doing it until like.
When was I disgusted with this? Because I feel like I do that.
I think Elisa was telling me.
Oh.
About it.
Anyway, what's the next one?
Way too much about each other. I think this is actually a really good one that you put in here, Matt. The fact that we can't separate nudity from sex in our media, like a really common thing that I see a lot in like sitcoms and stuff is people have sex, but like with their clothes on somehow simultaneously.
Yeah, or like at like the after sex moment when they're like in bed, but the sheet's covering them, but the woman is still wearing a bra.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah. No. And I mean, it's kind of this is kind of like a separate issue, but how we associate like breasts with sex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're actually not sexual at all. I mean, they are because we've sexualized them as a culture, but like the fact that, in this part of the world, women get scolded for breastfeeding in public is ridiculous. What?
I partly blame the media and the rules because if it's taboo to put them exposed, on
like
TV.
The FCC, like after the whole Janet Jackson thing, like they went haywire after that.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember that.
Unless it's HBO.
But like I remember living abroad and stuff, and it was a totally normal thing to be on a bus and like for a woman to just like pop that titty out and start feeding the kid. Nobody gave a fuck because it's a normal human like natural function. But here you have to have a cover or you have to go into a mother's room, and it's
not even a cover. Like you have to be out of the public eye. Like no one even wants to see or even know what you're doing, or it's indecent because your titty is still out, but it's being covered But
Yeah.
Or
someone
if
sucking,
you
I don't
if you
know.
announce that you need to go pump, certain people will call you disgusting.
Men.
Yeah. Who are also president. Anyway,
Hey.
moving
Hey.
along. We also had a couple of suggestions from listeners. Pauline said this might be a Thai or a Northern Thailand rural thing, but we only use forks and spoons or chopsticks in some cases, never knives. Our food comes cut to us already. It never made sense to me that Westerners only did this for kids. You're going to cut your food anyway, so it might as well come cut to you already. I agree.
I agree. I didn't think about this. Like I completely agree. I think especially if they're the ones cooking your food, then they should. I would like for them to cut it in the way that I should be eating it, instead of like me deciding the portions.
Well, I don't know how serious she is about never knives, but sometimes you need to cut something in the smaller portions, like maybe a sandwich, you need it to be smaller. Or maybe, I mean, what about like fruits and vegetables? Like, don't you cut those up? So you must
With
have
a
knives
fork.
in the house.
I think, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you have knives in the house, especially because if you have a kitchen and you're cooking and stuff. But I think we as a country, we have a problem with portions too. Like we like in excess portions of everything, especially getting more for less money, even if it's too much for us to even eat. Like the fact that we think, oh my gosh, I'm getting all this for this price. I'm going to get it and I'm just going to eat it. I don't care if it kills me. But other cultures, like like their meals are based off of like how much like you should eat. Like it's prepared for, each bite size.
How about this one from Kelsey?
Yeah.
The free-flowing soft drinks at fast food and sit-down restaurants. My exchange students are always so excited when they hear you can have as much Coke as you want for like $2.99. Yeah. This one, I mean, it's definitely not healthy for starters.
No. It's
Oh,
contributing to the sugar problem we discussed earlier.
Yeah, when it's so easy to get refills. Matt points out, why buy a large if there are free refills? And I agree with that. That's why normally, like Chick-fil-A does free refills, even though there are sodas behind the counter. Of course, like McDonald's, Wendy's, most of these places do it. And yeah, so I'll usually get a smaller size, but I guess you get a larger one if you want to carry a larger size to go.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
the
if you're
kicker.
going to go, but even so, like you don't, like I'm saying, like when you're at a restaurant or at a fast food place
Okay.
and you buy like a large drink because you just don't want to have to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Or something. And I think also with the option of unlimited refills, you're going to drink more than what you want just because the fact that you get free refills.
Right.
And we had just a couple more suggestions that we'll give honorable mentions to because I agree with them. Cody said the metric system.
Yes.
And I wholeheartedly agree. I think particularly here in the States, the fact that we literally use our own system of measurement that doesn't match up with anything in any other part of the world is a bit absurd.
And we expect everyone to adjust when they're with us.
Yeah, exactly. We expect people to know, like
excuse
have
me,
a concept
I don't know
of what
how many
a mile is, you know? Or like
how many
what an inch
miles.
means.
I don't know what a kilometer is.
Right. Kilometers make so much more sense than miles too. And then Schlippy said milk in cartons or large plastic containers, and this is because in most other parts of the world, milk comes in bags.
Yeah, what do you guys think of that?
I think that's
I don't
nasty.
know. No, it's not nasty because I used to buy milk in bags when I was living abroad too, and it's actually a lot more efficient. But it's one of those things that I can't like. It still seems weird to me.
Yeah, I understand
I
like
can't
how
get over it.
like environmentally it's a lot more safer. It's easier to recycle like plastic bags, but I don't know, having like just a bag of milk in a plastic pitcher in your fridge, and I know you have to like close the cut up, but I just don't know. I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, you have to, I always found the best way for this to work was if you had some kind of container, like something reusable at home, and then you could empty your bagged milk into that, or you could like cut the bag open slightly and place it inside that container and just make sure that it's sealed.
Yeah.
And that
just know when the expiration date is too.
Well, you have to know that anyway, don't you?
Well, if you empty the bag in a container.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But it also, when it's bagged, it comes in much smaller portions. Like you're not getting a
so you
gallon.
burn through it quicker. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting a gallon of milk in a bag.
Let's go back to
It's
glass.
usually-
The milkman drops off glass bottles. I like that idea.
Yeah, and then get your mom pregnant.
Wow. Okay.
You have your father's eyes, Andrew.
Where'd that come from? What is this a
I don't
reference
know.
to? Oh.
You
Okay.
you never heard
Harry
the whole
Potter.
thing about the milkman?
No.
That was like a running joke back in the day. Like
I know my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, but that's the only thing I can think
that's
of.
not related. No, you have to know this joke.
Well, why don't we move on to Surprise Bitch, and we will ask one of our listeners if they know, and perhaps if they have anything to add to this discussion.
Or even exists. We'll see if anyone answers.
Yeah. Matt, pick a number between 2 and 524.
I'm going to do 416.
Hello?
Hey, Lauren.
Yes? Who's
Surprise,
Surprise!
bitch. This is Millennia. What's
Surprise!
Oh, hi.
up?
Hi!
How are you? What are we interrupting in your life right now?
Work.
Oh.
Oh, okay, that's not
Give me 1 second. Let me get back to the back room here.
Sure.
Okay.
okay.
I was actually about to come. I do a bunch of stuff, but I was actually about to come do mail, so I can come back to the mailroom.
Okay.
Sweet. Well, sorry we're interrupting you, but we're glad that you picked up. Normally, we don't have so much luck with our first caller.
No problem. Yeah,
Where in the country are you?
I'm in Dallas.
How have you been over the past week?
I've been, it's
Fine.
been interesting. Yeah.
But you
The
can't
majority of
talk
my
about it out loud,
family-
guys.
Yeah. The majority of my family does not have the same views as I do, so
Okay. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just been interesting.
Okay.
So that's been fun. And I have medical stuff that I'm very worried about with all this, but we'll see.
Oh man.
Well, the good news is that this episode is politics free, other than the question that I just asked you. So at least there's
Well,
that.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking this episode. One of the main discussions is Western culture and how other countries and cultures think it's weird.
How do you feel about the concept of bagged milk?
I mean, is it milk? Is it like cow's milk?
Yes,
I mean,
it's milk.
It's just packaged differently. It's in like milk
Then-
bags.
I mean, I don't care. As long as it's milk, I'm happy.
You're more open-minded than me. I want to accept it. I want to like it, but I just can't. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I'm a milk person, so if there's milk to be had
All right. Milk,
and
cheese,
it's
and
good,
bread.
I'm probably
You're,
going to drink it.
you're hitting a lot of the food pyramid here. How about
Yeah.
not on the food pyramid? We were talking about those free-flowing soft drinks at fast food restaurants, like how you can just get as many as you want. I guess, there's the phrase everything's bigger in Texas. Is that do you
This is true.
do you love the unlimited soda refills, or do you think it's bad for this country?
Well, you see, the thing in Texas is we get so hot down here that you don't have free refills, and then everybody is just dying of dehydration.
Really?
Because, like,
Yeah, but I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
like you can drink water instead of Mountain Dew.
well, you could,
Matt,
but you
Matt!
know,
What?
what kind of
You're in
stereotype
Texas,
is that?
so-
Okay, fine. Coke Zero.
I mean,
Mountain
you could, but you're in Texas, so most people are going to drink Dr. Pepper.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. It's kind of how it goes. If you're not
I
a
do.
Dr. Pepper drinker, then you're a Coke drinker, and you're against the Dr. Pepper drinkers.
See, it's the exact opposite here in Georgia. This is Coke country.
Yeah, I like my
Country.
family looks down on me because I'm a Coke drinker, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody else is Dr. Pepper.
Or
Yeah.
sweet tea. Sweet tea's big.
Yeah. Hey, are
Sweet tea
you
is huge. Yeah.
seeing Fantastic Beasts this weekend?
I'm gonna try to see it this weekend. I may not see it till next week. I actually used to work at a theater in town, and so I have a friend who still works for them, so I get to go to free movies with him every week.
Oh,
him and his
beautiful.
wife.
Great. So
I may actually not be going until Wednesday, which is our movie night.
Oh, okay. So you want to see the movie, though?
Wednesday. Oh, yes, for sure.
Okay.
I'm a huge Harry Potter fan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for your support, and hopefully we didn't get you fired from work. And
No, I don't think you did.
okay. And may Adele bring your family together at Thanksgiving and/or any other holiday you may celebrate at the end of the year here.
Oh,
Praise her.
that was such a good skit.
It was such a good
man.
skit.
I know.
I think that was like a year ago, like this
It was,
week.
but it's still so good.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, thank y'all.
No problem. Bye.
Stay strong.
Bye, Lauren.
Bye.
Wow, she's a true Texan. Got a y'all out of her.
Yeah.
I've been saying that more.
Wow.
It's like a
Because
game.
y'all is a great word.
I used to think it was so stupid, and then I didn't.
Discrimination.
Yeah. Put a star next to Lauren's name because we know she picks up.
Yeah. Well, we can give her a second call in a few weeks.
Yeah, so I think that should be an incentive too. If you pick up the phone and you're on Surprise Bitch, you will be put into a pool of people that we will call if no one else calls.
All stars.
Surprise again.
We can always count on you. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We are not done yet. Coming up in After Dark today, we are going to be talking about fake news on Facebook. This is slightly related to politics, but recently it's gotten more and more attention to the point where Mark Zuckerberg himself addressed it on Facebook because they are getting a lot of backlash for the increase in fake news. And just last week, Mark Zuckerberg was like, oh, fake news didn't influence the election. No way, no sir. Even though fake news is rampant on Facebook. So we're going to talk about that and what is fake news and why people create fake news. What's in it for them? So we're going to talk about these things over on patreon.com/millennial. It's never been easier to listen to our bonus content. You get a custom RSS feed that you can add to your podcasting client like iTunes, like the app Casts, which is available for both iOS and Android. You can once you subscribe and add this feed to your podcasting app, you'll get all of our bonus content quickly, right? Just like you would Millennial. So it's really great. Patreon.com/millennial, like I said. And also millennialshow.com is where you can find more information about the show, including how to follow us on social media, twitter.com/millennial show and facebook.com/millennial show. On Facebook, by the way, facebook.com/millennial show. No fake news on our page. You will find photos from our election night party.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Featuring, I think, funny captions in hindsight. I thought they were funny.
Oh, really? I didn't read the captions.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
No.
I thought I was pretty happy with them.
People were not so happy because they thought that we our pictures because one of them was subtitled like we're toasting to the end of the republic or something, but
right.
We were toasting before we left to watch the election.
Right,
so.
once the results started coming in.
Yeah,
I think
before the Republic ended.
I think that end of the caption said JK or something like that, and then in the comments a few hours later, I was like, okay, we were no longer kidding. No more JK.
Just
Stay strong.
ugly.
Okay.
Just prepare to ugly cry for the next 4 years.
We're not going to go back into this hole.
Spiral.
Thanks, everybody, again. To wrap up the show, we're going to listen to the SNL Cold Open from this past Saturday, which is really good. It's Kate McKinnon as Hillary Clinton performing Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. She added in her own lyrics, by the way. I was like, whoa, wait a second. Are those the lyrics? I had to Google them.
Yeah, I mean, Leonard Cohen, the artist, he just died this week, unfortunately.
Yeah, so this kind of tributes to both Leonard and Hillary, I guess you could say, was really great.
Sad as fuck.
I was so it was
It
like
made me cry.
I was in a cab at like 3 a.m. in New York, and on Saturday night into Sunday morning, and So it's an Uber. And so I load up this clip and I'm listening to it in the back of this guy's Uber. And I was thinking, maybe I should tell him what I'm listening to so he's not wondering why I'm listening to Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah at 3 a.m. traffic to my hotel room. So I told him, so I was like, oh, by the way, this is SNL tonight. I'm not that dramatic of a person. And then he went into this whole thing about, oh man, no, it's cool. I don't judge anybody, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, we got on to Trump. Anyway, here it is. We'll see everybody next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye forever.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Maybe I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew you. I've seen your flag on the Marble Arch, and love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I did my best, it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I told the truth, I didn't come to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of Song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I'm not giving up, and neither should you. And live from New York, it's Saturday night.